In you go.
Yo, what's good people? Welcome along to my latest video, which is part 2 of what you can come across in Kinver, and here's just a little taster of what's to come. So let's get into it then, shall we? And like I say, we're back in Kinver, and as you can see from the maps, we're starting to plot out all the places I've shared with you so far. Now, before I go any further, I just want to draw your attention to Wainhous Cave, which I wrongly named Debdale Cave at the end of part 1, but have since found out its actual name. Let's get to our first location then, what is supposedly a Roman baths from the vague info that I've found so far. And I just want to say as well, some of you may have already seen some of this previously, but like I've also said, not in this detail, so stick with me to see some absolutely awesome places. Now it is quite tricky to get to, and you could easily walk past this place and not know it was there, as you can see from the pictures. So there is a few gaps in the bush, but this is the one you want to be looking out for. And do you see what I mean? You just wouldn't have any idea it was here if you didn't know about it. So anyway, if you follow this down, you'll come across this pretty much straight away. Sandstone arches, which are pretty impressive in themselves. And it does beg the question what this place actually is. Like I say, it is supposedly a Roman bath or of some sort, of some description. But like I say, the info is also very vague on this area as well. And then if you actually make your way around to the back of this, you'll come to a sort of like tunnel type thing, which you're just about to see a little bit further on. So I can't really show you much in terms of sandstone in this tunnel when we get into it, because as you can see, someone's come along to protect it or whatever they've done here. I can't say for sure though, because like I said, there's not a lot of mention of this place. But yeah, it does look like it's been professionally done, where someone's come and covered it for whatever reason, to stop it disintegrating anymore, or I don't know. If anybody's got any idea why that might be like that, then let us know in the comments down below. And yeah, as you can see, we're just about to come out of the tunnel now to the main bit. And yeah, you don't actually need to go through the tunnel either, but I think it adds that little bit extra to it, sort of thing. And yeah, just more sandstone arches, and then there's even a brick support there. I'll show you a picture of what this place looked like years ago shortly, so you can see for yourselves. And then we come to this awesome little brick section. It's felt like a chapel to me, like the appearance, but obviously quite small. And on the right hand side here remains of a fireplace, I'm not too sure. And the same render type material covering the bricks that I see on the same sandstone. And then if we go through the back here, you can see this pipe coming through. Now, this only asks more questions in my eyes. What do you guys think? It clearly feels like to me that something was built here, like it was built for a purpose. What that purpose is at the moment, or was, I couldn't tell you. But yeah, if anyone knows anything about this place, then let me know. And yeah, as we come back outside, we're met with this pretty big bricked wall, which goes around here as well. And there's also quite a lot of damage to it, as you will be seeing shortly. and then we go up to this bit here. Hopefully you can make out where the brick's actually in front of the sandstone. Again, I'm not sure why. And yeah, I just want to say, like, whatever this place is, or wherever it leads to, I haven't got a clue, but looking at it now, I'm very tempted, and I'm almost certainly going to be going back to see if I can get in there or see into it a little bit better. And here's the damage I just mentioned, and it makes you think, like, how big was this place, and then why has it been left like this? But then it's a pretty common feature for me nowadays. Whenever I see something old worldy, let's call it, it's usually smashed to pieces like this. Yeah, you can just see the destruction that's taken place here, or I can. Hopefully you guys can as well. And yeah, I can't say for sure, but the next bit coming up, it looks like it would have been sandwiched between the brick wall. I'm just going to pause it here just so you can see it for yourself, and hopefully you can make sense of what I mean there as well. So I do make my way up to the top for a bird's eye view, as it were, and also the remains of the wall from a different angle. And like I said, I did come across a picture, and this is the only picture I've managed to find of what this looked like in its prime. And then there's a couple of old maps here that don't really show anything either, from what I can see, except the patch of trees has a name. So let's get on to the next one. As you can see, we're not travelling too far, and we're going to Samson's cave. Now this is one of my favourites in the area, and one I've been to multiple occasions now, and it is such an awesome place, as you're going to see for yourselves. So this is where you want to aim for, going through the gate and follow the path, and you'll see sight of it quite soon, but not so much in the summer, I wouldn't have thought. Again, aim for the gate here, which will be on to your left, and then turn to the right and follow this path through the trees, and you'll be met with this eventually. Now, I'm not saying it is, but to me, this shows where people have come along and used the rock face that's already there to form the blocks, which we can see here. And it just doesn't make sense to me that all of this is man-made. The openings might well have been carved out, but I just can't wrap my head around the different variations, unless it's from a different time period, that is. Again, I'm not here to tell you what to think. I don't even know myself, as I've said numerous times before. And there's even signs of it still being lived in, or when it was lived in, should I say, with the guttering and even the slate roof tiles there as well. Now let's head inside and straight into here, where I feel it's like a bedroom. There's gaps here for a 4-poster bed or quite possibly storage, who knows. The render is abundant here, and even with some signs of what I'd say was paint, again, I'm just saying what I'm seeing. not too much of a bad view to wake up to here, is it? I really could imagine living here, and hopefully you guys can see it as well, just how awesome of a place this would be to live. Yeah, as we move on into the main living area, you'll see the natural brick there, and it's not out of place in the slightest. And we've even got some floor tiles here as well. Starting to paint a picture of what this place could have looked like maybe. And yeah, like I say, the renders just everywhere in this place. But it really is an awesome place. And if you do get the chance to go and see this place for yourselves, please do it. You won't be disappointed. You really won't. Then we head around to what I would call the cooker. And yeah, treat these places with respect. They should be the national treasures, not a place to have a session or vandalise or whatever you want to do. This looks like a cooker anyway, and a pretty decent like pizza oven sort of thing at that. And then we have the fireplace, or it looks like a fireplace to me, right next to the cooker. Now, can you imagine how cozy this place would have been, or could have been? And yeah, I haven't got a clue why my torch does this. I think it might be the fact that my phone like is on its way out, so the camera's not great, but it is what it is. I just can't get over the views either. It's ridiculous. And just imagine living here in its prime, having that as a view. Out of the way, nobody to bother you or anything like that. Living the dream, eh? Living the dream. But yeah, then we enter the last room, and again, covered in render, like everywhere. And hopefully you can see, it looks like it's paint to me, but I don't know. It could be something totally different. I'm not a builder, I'm not an expert or anything like that. I'm just, again, playing catchphrase, say what you see in it. I don't know. And yeah, if we have a little closer look in the corner here, you can see that natural brick feature again. Yeah, we all know it's not natural, but obviously it's there with some sort of strengthening or support. I'm guessing the hole come out at one point and they've just redone it with brick instead. And yeah, I just break a little bit of render here just to inspect it a little bit closer, to be honest. So now we're going to head outside. I'm going to take you around the side, just so you can see how far this extends out, or there's more to this place than just this little house thing, as you can see here. And hopefully you can make out there's lots of broken bricks and whatever on the floor, which indicates to me something else was here at one time or another. And yeah, there's more openings as well, possibly storage, but again, it's hard to say what these are without seeing this place in its prime. Then we make our way up a little more to even more openings in the rock face. So this is now on a different level to where I've been. So it's giving me the vibes of Drakelows or Vale's Rock, those types of places, which were multiple levels, which I've shown you in the previous ones. If you haven't seen them or can't remember, go back and have a look at them. Yeah, like I say, just more openings in the rock face. And then there's even signs here of holes for some sort of framework maybe. I'm not 100% sure. And then here, what looks like a wall of sorts made from blocks. Maybe foundations for an older building. Or maybe just what it looks like, a wall. Who knows? And yeah, we head up top even more now. So I'd say we're like 3 levels up. And yeah, just showing you a little bit of perspective on the location. You could quite easily walk over this place and pass it and have no idea it was here. It is a fascinating place, it really is. Like I say, walking over it now, you have no idea there was something right beneath you. It just looks like a hill, doesn't it? And yeah, there's signs here of what looks like a concrete floor. Is it to strengthen the roof below, or is it a floor to another building perhaps? Like I say, I'm just going off Drakelows and whatnot, like the few places I've seen you that have had like a pent-like place on top. And yeah, just a little look here in the chimney hole whilst we're up here. Like I said, this really is a fascinating place, and if you do get a chance to go, you'll be in awe as well, just like I am. Every single time I go back, it's just crazy. It really is. So yeah, the next one isn't too far away from Samson's cave. I've mentioned this Icehouse previously, so if you keep on the path heading north from Samson's, it's probably about 200 metres or so from the next one. Now you head for this gate and you'll see it on your left hand side. And I just want to quickly mention that old maps show what they call a quarry cottage in this location. It's no longer here, and I can't even see the foundations or nothing for it. But I do believe it once stood here. I mean, why would the old maps lie? And yeah, like I say, it sort of suggests to me that this Icehouse could have possibly been connected to this cottage, instead of what I previously stated, that the manor house at Vale could have possibly used it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is me changing my mind, like changing how I think. I've done a little bit more research and I've changed my mind. I hope that shows the type of person I am, and I'm open to changing my mind, and not everything I say is set in stone, like sort of thing. And yeah, this is probably the last location I'm going to show you today that you've already seen, and unfortunately this place has been secured back up since last time I visited. I mean, I did manage to get in last time for a better look, and I would say go and check it out, but it's probably been deleted like everything else. Saying that though, leave it a month or two and it might be re-released as old or new footage. And yeah, we haven't played this for a while, but there's a few instances here of what came first, the tree or the sandstone. And yeah, also signs to me that the earth has been placed up to the entrance. What do you guys think? Yeah, I did manage to get my gimbal inside for a little bit of a better look. But if you want to see what it looks like properly, check out my Badger Dingle video, because there's an ice house that's pretty much identical to this one in that video. So the narrative claims the sandstone would have been carved out and the bricks would have been added afterwards. Now I'm not too sure myself, but I do have a few locations for some ice houses still to check out. Now I remember the first time seeing this, I thought I'd come across like a way underground or even a portal type thing. Unfortunately though, it doesn't appear to be that. But I do hope to find out their actual purpose, even if it is just an old school fridge like the narrative claims. And here's the old maps that I mentioned, showing the quarry cottage, or where it once stood. And yeah, it set my alarm bells off, especially the last few quarries that I've visited. And yeah, next up we have a small chapel, hidden away in a patch of trees. And it isn't too far from what I've been showing you today so far. And then we've got the mandatory keep out signs. So that only tells me to go and have a further look. And yeah, look at me in my sunglasses. Such a twat. Anyway, take this path up to this cute little chapel, which was probably designed by William Shenstone, who died in 1763, and it was built in about 1750 to 1760. That's what the narrative actually says. Quoting it word for word there. So yeah, you gotta love the vague history. I believe it's connected to the Vale estate, just like Samson's and the Icehouse that I've shown you already. And I think it's a grade 2 listing from the info that I've gathered so far. But yeah, I still don't think it stops youths and whatever else going into places and other places that I'll show you. But this is more out of the way than other places, so that's probably a good reason why this hasn't been vandalised or destroyed too much. And then the old map shows that it was disused, so disused on the old maps, so just how old it is, who knows. And now on to the next one. It's not too far from the chapel, and it's actually incorrectly labelled here as the Hickman House. It's actually called Sheepwalk House, and I only found this by chance one day when I was looking at the maps trying to find the chapel, and then I come across this, a house that is said to have been left into ruin for over a century, and the trees surrounding it just made me want to visit all the more, so I made sure I did, especially being so close. So you head up the hill and find yet again a fenced off section. It could be here to keep the free roaming sheep out, as there is a well or two here, which I was actually unaware of at the time. So head over the fence however you see fit, and you'll see almost straight away the walls and the lead up to it, more signs. Look at that, it looks awesome, even in its present state. So yeah, making my way through carefully, because of the wells I mentioned that I didn't know about. We get to the remains of the house, and you can see how nature has taken over. Now the trees here remind me of the quarry that I showed you at Nestcliff, and this place also reminds me of a place just down the road from where I live, which is an old house which once stood, but it's now been left to ruin and left for nature to take over. I might actually do a feature on that video on that place shortly. I just don't understand why you leave places like this. I don't understand it. It's just got me, and hopefully you, watching, asking more questions. And I'm not sure if that was a cellar or signs it goes further down. And then like it's obviously been covered or whatever, just like other places I've seen. Now hopefully you're getting some sort of perspective of its size. It certainly wasn't anything too shabby, I'll tell you that. You can even see the render or the plaster, whatever it is, still clinging onto the bricks after all these years. Does it look familiar to any other places I'll show you? Yeah, I just don't know what to think here. Some of it looks like it's been destroyed, but why not the rest? And all the earth that is here as well. It clearly wasn't there at the start. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is the main building or if it's a separate building or not. Like I say, looking back at this now, I'm actually quite lucky, because like I say, I didn't know of any wells beforehand, and I'm not concentrating or looking for the wells either. Yeah, like I say, where does all this earth come from? And it, like I say, it wasn't there when this house was in its prime. So it begs the question, where's it all come from? Or how does it even get there? And how far does this place actually go down? So now we're coming to the last and my personal favourite of this video, and anyone that's still with me to this point, I hope I haven't bored you too much, and thank you for getting this far, and here's your reward for staying with me for so long. Now as you can see, we're heading away from where most of the video has taken place. We're actually heading to Cuckley, which is just outside of Kinver, and you should notice this area from the two locations I've previously shown. So get yourself on the towpath and head towards the loch. And no, I don't fall in either, and neither will you if you pay attention to your surroundings. You'll find that there's a much easier way to get over, by the means of the bridge and the steps that I'm just about to show you here. But then where would the fun be in that? And yeah, I don't know if it's just me or what, but they could have at least filled the canal up, so I had a bit of I didn't have so far to drop down sort of thing. And yeah, right by the ladders there's an entrance to what is quite a big cave, which according to the narrative was artificially made. Yeah, the lock, the cave and the weir that I'm going to be showing you, they've all been listed, I believe. Not much mention of its use, but it did have what appears to be a bench, like a seating area all the way around the perimeter of it. Maybe it was a place to rest while she was at the locks waiting for the locks. I don't know though, I can just picture an old lady or something like that in a rocking chair. Something like with a sign, pay or you can't pass. I don't know. Again, not too dissimilar to most of the other caves in the area, although not much in terms of like saying it was lived in. Now, some of you probably already saw this on my short where I was asking where this water ends up. Now this is the weir that I've actually mentioned that's been listed. Now from the info I've found, it says that it's an overflow for the canal, so obviously it doesn't overflow. What it doesn't say though is where the water actually ends up. So I was thinking of buying a little tracking device, but I don't really want to throw money away, like quite literally be throwing money away, so I'm not sure what to do. So yeah, here we are, end of this one. I had hoped to hit a couple more places on this day. A few places I'd wager not many of you have seen yet, but time unfortunately got the better of me. Now there will be one more on this area in due course, and I'll probably go over the research that I've done, show you the lidar of the area and show you the locations and whatever else I can think of to wrap the place up. So starting from next month I will be travelling further and staying multiple days at places. I have a few locations I want to see so far, so I might put it out there like where I'm going, and if anyone wants to join me, you're more than welcome to. I really cannot start waiting to see just how much of the UK is like this, and yeah, I look forward to meeting any of you along the way. I've been Nicky B, and until next time.